All right, welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am Chase Sr. Today's show is presented by Manscaped. If you want the best men's grooming tools, you can get 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com/49ers. Enter the promo code. That link is in the description as well as the comment section of this video. Let's kick the show off with the latest 49ers news and rumors, and we start with this. Is Richard Sherman going to re-sign with the Niner gang? Going to go ahead and give this two Shanahats. I'm intrigued. It could happen, but right now, I think it's doubtful. So Bleacher Report put out an article predicting where the top free agents in the NFL are going to sign leading up to the 2021 season. And they have Richard Sherman pegged going to the Niners. They have him going back to Santa Clara. And according to the Sacramento Bee, back in May, the 49ers were in preliminary discussions with Richard Sherman to bring him back, the All-Pro, future Hall of Famer, still one of the better cornerbacks across the league. But since that report in May, it's been nothing new on this front. But going back to that Bleacher Report article, here's what they had to say about Sherm reuniting and re-signing with the Niner gang. San Francisco may want to bolster key positions on the roster, especially units with injury-prone starters. Unless the 49ers plan to rest Jason Verrett throughout the summer, they'll likely have some concerns about him on the field. He's suffered multiple season-ending injuries throughout his career and only played in 13 or more contests twice in 7 years since getting drafted in the first round by the Chargers out of TCU. I'm intrigued by re-signing Sherman. Yes, he's 33 years old, but I still think he can play. Going back 2 years ago when he helped lead the Niners defense to the Super Bowl, he was still a really quality player. Here's the thing, though. I think the Niners have plans to move on, go younger, and avoid some of the past injuries that have crept up on this football team over the last several years. They drafted Ambry Thomas out of Michigan high in the NFL draft. They also took Diamador Lenore out of Oregon later in the 5th round. And word out of Santa Clara is that the coaching staff is really high on those two corners. So I think that gives you a peek into the 49ers' plans at the cornerback spot. Also, they were very active in free agency as well, bringing back guys like Jason Verrett, as well as K'Wan Williams. So I think they're going to move on from Sherman and not re-sign him. But what do you think the Niners should do? Do they need him on this roster for 2021? He'd be a good depth piece. He'd give this defense quality snaps. Get your votes in the comment section. Type N for yes, they need him, or type D for nah, they don't. Is Trey Lance taking a massive jump? And has he just been awfully impressive throughout rookie minicamp, OTAs, leading into training camp at the end of July? Matt Maiocco of NBC Sports Bay Area said he took one of the best jumps he's seen of any 49ers rookie during his quarter century of covering the Niners. Given this four Shanahats, light the candlestick because I am all in and on board the Trey Lance hype train. Let's explore this a little bit. So Matt Maiocco of NBC Sports Bay Area was on KJR Radio in Seattle. He was asked simply to share his assessment of Lance back when he saw him in person during minicamp and OTAs. Obviously, those were cut short because of the Niners' injuries. They're not meeting together as a team until late July when training camp kicks off. He said Lance made some drastic improvements, and the theme since leading up to the NFL draft has been this, even going back to Lance's days at North Dakota State. This dude is a very quick learner, and he picks up on things very, very quickly. Here's what Maiocco had to say on KJR Radio. Trey Lance might be the only person since I've been covering the team, which is about a quarter of a decade, that from 1 week of OTAs to the next week, you could actually see the improvement. The first week we went out there, he just kind of seemed to be a little bit unsure of himself, a tick slow. The ball was sailing high. You could tell there was a lot going on in his head. And in the next week, he went out there and you could tell he was directing traffic, moving guys from spot A to spot B, and he threw the ball a little bit more accurately. It's not often that you see a dramatic change that you can see with your naked eye, and that is the jump that Lance took in a very small sample size. There's a consistent theme that we have to follow and look into. Going back to North Dakota State, as I mentioned, the consensus on Lance has been this guy is for real. He impressed his coaching staff as well as his teammates at North Dakota State. That's why he vaulted up draft boards. Pre-draft, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch were blown away by the skill set, the athletic ability, but also the character, leadership, and his ability to grasp onto things quickly, especially this 49ers offense. George Kittle even said back a couple weeks ago, and last week as well during Tight End University, I like what I'm seeing. And Trey Lance has been going through his progressions quickly. That's not something that some scrub does. That's what the best quarterbacks in the league do. They go through their progressions. And now it's Matt Maiocco saying, I saw firsthand in the limited sample size that I saw Lance during some of these practices, him take this massive jump. Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network, as you just saw on the bottom of your screen, even said, if Trey Lance is ready, Kyle Shanahan, they're going to take the leash off him, and they're just going to let him ride and probably play right away. And that massive jump is very telling because Niners haven't really gotten together much as a team, but already Trey Lance is dropping dimes. He's ripping throws. He's already working out with Deebo Samuel, as well as some of the other wide receivers on this roster, as well as Mohamed Sanu. Look, I know Niners fans get very sensitive with this, because Jimmy Garoppolo is involved in this conversation. This is not a knock on Jimmy Garoppolo, especially coming from yours truly. Jimmy G can play. That has not been the issue. It is not ability, it's availability, and he frankly hasn't been available enough. This is all about Trey Lance going above and beyond and just balling out on the practice field, and if he goes out in training camp in the preseason and continues to sling dimes, I think he could be the starter sooner rather than later. So are you buying the Trey Lance hype? Let us know. Are you on board like I am? Get into the comment section and get your votes in. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Going to go ahead and submit my Y for yes because everything going back to the pre-draft process tells you that Trey Lance has been the real deal. Today's 49ers Report is presented by our friends at Manscaped. Now, it's funny. I was in Baltimore last weekend for a wedding. I was getting changed, and my girlfriend saw me. She saw my scruff on my face. She saw my hairy back, and she was like, oh my gosh, Chase, you have to shave that. Now, the word out of Santa Clara is that Trey Lance has been impressing. If you want to impress your lady by cleaning up your nether region, you can do so with Manscaped and the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. I'm impressing my lady. You can do the same. And the good news is, if you use that link at the bottom of your screen by going to manscaped.com/49ers, you can get 20% off plus free shipping on the brand new Lawnmower 4.0, as well as all of the best men's grooming product tools that are brought to you from Manscaped. That link in the description, as well as the comment section of this video. The 49ers in 2021 going to throw it back to the 1994 season to celebrate their 75th season of being in existence as a franchise. The 49ers are bringing back those fresh and clean 94 jerseys that the Niners rocked when they went on to win Super Bowl 29, led by Jerry Rice and Steve Young, who will look at their performances in that Super Bowl victory over the Chargers in just a minute. But they unveiled those jerseys officially yesterday on Wednesday, because we're recording this on our live show on Friday, and I can't wait to see the Niners ball out in those fresh threads. So they announced the return of those jerseys this week. They're going to wear them for 6 games in 2021. This is all to celebrate their 75th season, and there are going to be 2 versions. The scarlet red ones, which were just on your screen, as well as the white versions. They're going to wear those red threads for these upcoming home games. 2 primetime games against the Green Bay Packers, as well as the Indianapolis Colts in Week 3, as well as in Week 7. Another pivotal matchup against the hated Los Angeles Rams in Week 10, and against the Atlanta Falcons in Week 15. The white threads are going to be worn Week 13 against the Seattle Seahawks, another big interdivision game, and Week 16 on Thursday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans. Maybe it's going to be an all-white uniform combo for the Niners. That would certainly look really good. Now, I mentioned 1994. It was a magical season for the Niners that year. They went 15-1. They beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 29, and they were led and paced by Steve Young and Jerry Rice, who went off. Like, the numbers that they put up to bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Candlestick Park were ridiculous. Steve Young was just slinging it. 24-36 in that game, 325 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 0 picks. And guess who couldn't be covered? Jerry Rice. Steve Young was just having an amazing connection with him 10 receptions for Jerry Rice, the GOAT at the wide receiver position, no doubt, over the course of NFL history, 129 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an average yards per catch of nearly 15. Steve Young, Jerry Rice, they could not be stopped that night as they almost put up a 50-piece nugget against the Chargers in a Super Bowl. That is so rare for an offense to go off to that capacity. That's what the Niners did, and that's why the Niners in 2021 going to be throwing it back to 1994. So what is your favorite memory from Super Bowl 29? I was only 2 years old, but let me know in the comment section what your favorite memory was from that dominant performance. Leave those memories in the comment section down below. Quick nugget of information to get to here. According to Adam Schefter, the NFL is fining the San Francisco 49ers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Dallas Cowboys for OTA violations. This tweet coming from Schefter on Thursday afternoon. The 49ers as an organization going to be fined $100,000. Kyle Shanahan going to be fined $50,000. That news coming in from Adam Schefter.